Good evening everyone, and welcome to another Gundam news. I said I was gonna do an extra one if we got some cool announcements, and boy did we get some cool announcements today. So why don't we just jump straight in with the literal biggest one. The high-grade Psycho Gundam Mark II. Now, since we recently got the high-grade Destroy Gundam and the high-grade Tiffios Gundam, everyone in their Baku has been speculating if, or rather, when we would be getting this thing, and it is finally time. More details, like the actual release date and the price, will be released at a later date, but we do have an image of the prototype now. And they also say that the commercialization has been confirmed, so it shouldn't vanish into thin air, as has happened, unfortunately, with some other model kits and also some figures in the past. A more unexpected high grade then was the Bolinoak Sammahn. Definitely one of the weirdest looking machines out there, not just from Zeta Gundam, but from all of Gundam. And that was probably also the reason why this thing never got a standard plastic model kit up until now, because like in the past it did get a resin kit, but of course we're not really counting those. So yeah, I did always find it funny that it was like the only main character mobile suit that never got its own model kit. And with all of the major ones now finally out of the way, Bandai can get on to tackling some of the more obscure machines from Zeta Gundam that still need a model kit. Which, I mean, to be honest, I may or may not have preferred over the Bolinoak Sammahn. There's the Gun Cannon Heavy Custom, the Gun Tank 2, the Zaku, Gu Fly Type, Marine Hizack, Zaku Reconnaissance Type, and then of course, like, high grades for the Jim Sniper Custom and the Jim Cannon. They did get master grades, but we don't have them in like high grade standard Universal Sentry. And talking about Zeta Gundam machines that are finally getting a high grade, the Hizack Custom. And now this is something that did always like surprise me and struck me as odd, because Bandai had two very good chances to give us a Hizack Custom. We had a high-grade Hizack, and then later on we had the master-grade Hizack. But I guess 3 times really is the charm, because thanks to the high-grade Hobby Hizack Advance of Zeta Reboot version, we are now finally getting a high-grade Hizack Custom Advance of Zeta Reboot version. More details will be following soon, but unfortunately they did already confirm that it is going to be Premium Bandai Limited, because everything Advance of Zeta related has to be Premium Bandai Limited. For me though, I'm still hoping for a regular version of the Hizack Custom, because those shoulder pads are way too big, even for being the Advance of Zeta version, where they are supposed to be bigger than the standard version. But hey, more Advance of Zeta is always a good thing. A hefty design that I'm more in favor of then is the real grade RX-78-2 Ver.2.0. And let's not beat around the bush here. The original real grade was a technological marvel at the time of its release, but once that honeymoon period was over, both we and Bandai realized that, well, the real grade line did need some adjustments, and fortunately, adjust them they did. Like, if you take any of the old real grades like the RX-78-2 or the Strike Gundam and then compare it to one of the new real grades like the new Gundam or the Force Impulse Gundam, it's like they're two completely different grades. Like, they are so different, mostly in good ways. And man, does this new RX-78-2 make me feel things. First of all, we've got an extremely detailed inner frame that definitely puts modern master grades to shame, which also looks like it has a lot of moving parts. Then we've got an equally detailed outer frame and some really top tier proportions. Like, they still kept the Gundam's lean design, but they managed to make it feel heavy as well. I really like how they pulled this off here. What I found funny though then is on one slide, they tell us that like the details of its evolved action gimmicks and armaments will be revealed in May. But then a few slides later is just straight up all of its accessories, being of course 2 beam sabers with 2 beam saber blades, a beam rifle, hyper bazooka, shield, landing gear for the core fighter, meaning that yes, it is going to be transformable, 2 closed fist hands, 2 holding hands for the beam sabers, 2 open hands, but only a single right trigger finger hand. So it looks like I'll be trying to jam the bazooka into the left beam saber holding hand. The whole set goes for 3,850 yen, 25 US, and is slated for an August release. And if you want to get your hands on this thing, I will of course have the links to it down below, because pre-orders for this and most of the other kits that I'll be talking about in this video are currently available from HobbyLink Japan. And using those links will of course also support the channel. And finally from the Universal Century then, we got something that I really wasn't expecting. The Figurized Standard Puru 2, which then automatically leads to the question, are we also going to get Puru 1? And more importantly, Puru 12, also known as Best Puru. As with the Psycho Gundam Mark II though, more details will be revealed at a later date. Moving on to the Cosmic Era then, where we also got a Figurized Standard figure, Lunamaria Hawke. And for her, we do have all of the details. She'll be releasing in July, and for 4,180 yen, 28 US, she will definitely be able to show off all of her assets. For her facial expressions, she's got one regular smiling face with pre-printed eyes, and then a slightly surprised face and a big smiling face, which require the included waterslide decals for the eyes, so you can choose your own expression. Then she's got a helmet with a removable visor, which can be either worn or held. For hand options, she's got 2 closed fists, 2 open hands, 2 holding hands, a left salute hand, and a right 2-finger salute hand. And then finally, her biggest accessory is a spare torso with an open zipper. And they specify that the inner section is made out of a soft, squishy material, which I'm guessing is the same material that they used for the skirt armor of the revived high-grade Zaku 2s. Fun to build Gunpla indeed. But yeah, it is really cool to see more pilots being included into the Figurized Standard lineup, and I'm already looking forward to seeing who's next. Of course, I wouldn't mind a Figurized Standard Mayrin, and the M1 Stray Girls would also be really cool to see, but if I was a betting man, I would probably put my money on either Captain Romius, Rain, or Hammon. All for obvious reasons. But that, of course, wasn't nearly everything that we got from the Cosmic Era. We knew that a high-grade Duel Blitz and high-grade Lightning Buster Gundam were only a matter of time, and they got announced with all of their details. In July, we'll be getting the Duel Blitz for 2,970 yen, 20 US. And this package is definitely better than what I was hoping for. It comes with its standard beam rifle, the Gleipnir has movable claws and a small stand for easy posing, the Lancer darts are removable and can be handheld, the new beam rifle, missiles, and beam saber can fold out, and despite its heavy armor, it comes with some killer articulation. And if you don't like the armor, it can all be purged to reveal a stock Duel Gundam underneath. And it even comes with correctly colored blue wrist parts to replace the gray ones. So like, the only thing missing here to make a standard stock Gundam Seed Duel Gundam is the shield. So, do I smell a future premium Bandai release here? Oh, and just to make sure that everyone here is on the same page, this is not a remold of the old high-grade Duel Gundam in any way, shape, or form. This is a completely new mold to bring it up to spec with the other modern Cosmic Era kits. And the same also goes for the high-grade Lightning Buster Gundam. It is a completely new kit and will be coming your way in September for 2,860 yen, 19 US. And it really comes packing with those giant guns that will no doubt look very impressive in combination with that glorious articulation. Something that the old high-grade Buster, by the way, was also known for, because despite being the artillery support mobile suit of the bunch, it actually had some of the best articulation of the old high-grade Gundam Seed line. So it's good to see that this new Buster Gundam model kit continues its legacy by having top-tier articulation and also an amazing crouching pose. The question that remains then is, when and how are we going to be getting the vanilla Duel Gundam, probably with Assault Shroud included, and the vanilla Buster Gundam? And then by extension, the Aegis and the Blitz Gundam, because all of them can definitely do with an upgrade. I'm still holding out hope that they will be regular releases, given the popularity of Gundam Seed. And then finally from the Cosmic Era, we get the SD Gundam Cross Silhouette Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam in September for 1,980 yen, 13 US. As per usual, it comes with two frames, a more stocky SD frame that pairs nicely with the more human SD eyes, and a more lean cross silhouette frame, which then pairs nicely with the more mecha standard Gundam eyes. Accessories include two beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts, two beam rifles that can of course be combined, the Futonomitama anti-ship sword, an opening forehead cannon, and the Proud Defender backpack, which can also be used by itself, although the action base is not included. And what also isn't included is the beam shield you see on this picture right here. But it can use the one that is included with the high grade. And while I'm pretty sure this is intended as like a positive feature, I can't help but feel that it would have been cooler if the SD also came with one that was the same as the high grade, and then that the advertised feature was that like, oh, if you get both of them, one of them can use both beam shields, because of course the Mighty Strike Freedom does have beam generators on both arms. But without a doubt, the funniest thing that happened with this SD Mighty Strike Freedom is that it, along with the high-grade Lightning Buster and real-grade RX-78-2 version 2.0, got leaked a few hours before the official announcement. And from how I understand it, they were already up on Amazon, but it was kind of like an unlisted video on YouTube. You can't navigate to the page, like under normal circumstances you can type it into the search and like accidentally land on it, but if you have the exact URL, you can just go to it and see what's on there. And somehow someone was able to get access, shared the URL, and then, well, everyone was able to see it. At least this wasn't nearly as bad as the leak with the first Metaverse test. And to wrap things up for the new hobby item info thing, let's have a look at the new option part set Gunpla 5 through 12. All of which are simply rebranded versions of already available model kits. So other than the price and the release date, I'm not really gonna go into too much detail here. In July, we have number 5 for 880 yen, 6 US, the Universe Booster Plavsky Power Gate. Number 6 for also 880 yen, 6 US, the Valuable Pod. Number 7 for 660 yen, 4 US, the Powered Arms Powerader. Number 8 for 880 yen, 6 US, the Balden Arm Arms. Number 9 for 660 yen, 4 US, the Giant Gatling. And number 10 for 880 yen, 6 US, the Galaxy Booster. And in August then, there are 2 rebranded Iron-Blooded Orphan set. Number 11 for 660 yen, 4 US, the Smoothbore Gun for the Barbs. And number 12 for also 660 yen, 4 US, the Large Railgun. And that was everything for the new hobby item info. So I'm happy to say that Bandai did keep the best for last. We might not have gotten a master grade, but for me, the announcement of the high grade Psycho Gundam Mark II more than made up for that. Oh, and before I forget, in yesterday's video, I forgot to mention when the 30-minute mission Armored Core kits will be releasing. They're all slated for a September release. I guess my excitement got the better of me. And another thing that I forgot to mention is that they're also releasing 2 new action bases in August. Action base number 6 for 1,320 yen, 9 US, and action base number 7 for 1,540 yen, 10 US. Both are clear and have a mirror sticker for the base plate, allowing you to see the underside of your model kit, which is something that is clearly meant to show you the underside of modern Gunpla, because they have like such intricate thigh joints which you just can't see. They always get hidden by those pesky skirt armor plates. But no more, thanks to these mirrored action bases, which will definitely not be used for any other purposes, I am certain. And then really finally, there's also 2 more kits that Bandai announced at the Hyper Plamo Fest that I don't think were part of the hobby new item info thingy. In May, there's going to be a Gundam-based limited clear Master Grade Super Deformed Freedom for 4,290 yen, 28 US. And in April, there's going to be a Gundam Sci-Def limited Master Grade Rigazee Char's Counterattack version, which will go for 6,600 yen, 44 US. And so you might be getting a bit of a deja vu here, and that is because this is a color variant of the previously released Master Grade Rigazee Unicorn version, which itself was a remolded upgrade of the original Master Grade Rigazee from 2001. So kind of the deal they got going on here with those Master Grade DOMs they released a while back. Basically, you can call this Master Grade the Master Grade Rigazee version 1.5. And that has been all for this extra Gundam news video. I am aware that Silver Phantom got a new trailer, but I'll have to see if I can turn that into its own video, or if I simply include it into next week's regularly scheduled Gundam news. So for now, I'm just going to remind you that most of the Gunpla you saw in this video is available over at Hobbling Japan, and is linked down below. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.